Welcome to your Leo full moon reading, and this of course is going to be at its climax on February 16th of 2022 at 11:56 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can figure out where that is at in your time zone. And it's beautiful. We have this wonderful, exciting, fun Leo energy that's coming about. And I wanted to talk just briefly about, before we jump into your reading, what this energy is bringing in. Of course, every 28, 29 days or so, we have a new cycle of moons, from new moons to full moons and back to new moons, and so it's always going that way. But also around every 6 months we have a cycle of going from the new moon in a sign to the full moon in a sign back to the new moon in a sign. So, you know, the new moon, the last new moon, I'll show you a little card here. I love this, all these beautiful sunflowers, because the Leo, I believe, is ruled by the sun, so this is beautiful energy. The last new moon we had was back on August 9th of 2021, and that energy that started us off on that journey, like it says here, shine, and like the sun shines, right? And that was about finding pride, you know, lion pride, in who you are, remembering respect for yourself, allowing your creative energy to bring like new and unique approaches to any of your challenges. So that was the energy that started up around there. And then 6 months later, here we're coming up around February 16th of the culmination. So during those 6 months, from there up to this point that's the journey that you've been having. So you can look at back on August 9th, see what was happening around that period of time, and just what has grown around your pride in yourself and the respect in yourself and your creative energy from that time. But the Leo full moon energy, this is about releasing now old thoughts and old beliefs about who you thought you were, you know, the old things that you thought you had pride in yourself, or the things that you were using to define your respect for yourself. And now you're releasing those and you're letting go. And like it mentions in here, little lion, go wild. Get out from all that restriction and all those old thoughts and beliefs. It also says that answers are coming, so enjoy your ride, have fun, love, smile, laugh. All of those things help you see and hear answers where you didn't see answers before. And it's about using your energy not to focus on your fears, but focus instead on what you want, not on what you don't want. Focus on what you're grateful for, because whatever you focus on is what is going to grow. So this is what this is about. And I love these cards are from this beautiful deck here. So I'll let you see that in case you want to check those out. And it gives you a lot of beautiful information about the moons and the phases of the moons. And in here, they mentioned like a full moon affirmation, which I really liked, which I'm going to alter a little bit, but they mentioned like the affirmation is, I live in the present and release all past pain. And I want to alter that and say, I live in the present and release all past pain and constriction and suffering and stress, because those are those old beliefs, the old ways of seeing yourself. And this is a transformation of seeing yourself in a whole new bright way, right? So I love this, and we're going to see what the Creator has to additionally provide you for each reading for each of the individual signs, and we're going to jump into your sign right now. All right, all my Sagittarians, this is your Leo full moon reading, and we're going to start off by pulling a card here from these You Are Awesome cards to see what the Creator wants you to know overall for this full moon for you. One more time. All right, so for our Sagittarians, what would you like them to know about this Leo full moon? All right, there you go. I love these cards. They're hilarious and wise. My confidence comes from within. The fears I have of tomorrow are simply going away. So is my protective suit. So perfect. So this full moon definitely is bringing in a wonderful confidence from the inside out, not from the outside in, to where you don't have this defensiveness, this need to protect your small t truths of your ego anymore, because you're finding these higher truths from within. So I love that. And of course, we're going to get clarification here through the tarot and just see what the Creator wants to expand on for this full moon energy for you. This, of course, can be the week before, the week after, depending on where you have Leo in your chart and how the full moon's affecting you and what you have going on in your life. Sometimes you can even feel it, up to 2 weeks before and after. So we'll see here what else the Creator wants our Sagittarians to know. So you have the Eight of Cups starting off here, and I do want these. Got the Star card. Perfect. What else? And I'll show you the cards more as we go into them as well. Yep, see the Three of Wands there. And need at least 2 more. Okay, there we go. Oh, and I got the full card here. So a lot of major arcana here. All right, so we're going to go around here. This is like the full moon for you, and we're going to break these down in a variety of ways, but we're going to start off with this here, which is the Eight of Cups. Cups are your emotions, and the Eight of Cups is all about looking at all these emotions that you have had caged for quite a while. And like we talked about in the introduction, this transformation, this awareness that you've been going through over the last 6 months is that you have been finding out which emotions no longer serve you. They have served you for a while. Like you said, this protective shell that you've had, you have started to let it go. You've opened that cage door and have started to let the emotions leave, your body. You've allowed it to leave and see things from a different perspective. So you've really have learned. The number 8s are about knowledge and growth. And so you really have understood why you felt the way you did. But when we talked about in the beginning, you're finding this inner strength, this higher connection, this, like those capital T truths I mentioned, really helps you transform how you have seen things. And it has gone from this impact from the outside world has diminished and lessened as your inner world has grown, which takes us into over here. We're going to look at these 3 cards together as well. And so you've got the Hanged Man here. This is normally what the Hanged Man is. And you see here, I love how they interpret this, because usually it's just someone hanging upside down from a tree, but you're being suspended here, and there's 2 points of view that you're seeing. One from the earthly, human side, and one from the higher, your angelic self, your supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love that you really are, the actor behind the character that you're playing here. So you do, like when we were talked about the capital T truths and the higher truths that you're seeing that there, which also you've got the Star card, which the Star card is the Aquarian energy, which is seeing things from a different perspective, seeing things outside of the box, and recognizing the star that you really are, the higher being that you really are. So with these 2 together alone, that's just really screaming about connecting to the higher places. You also have the Fool card here, which we'll talk about when we get around here, but this is can represent your soul as well, the higher being that you are. So there is a lot of that's coming through. You also have the Five of Cups here. Cups, again, are our emotions, and 5s are about changing, about transformation of things. And they will normally have 3 cups spilled and 2 cups behind you. And the 3 cups that are spilled are those outside things, those, relationships. situations and things. Each of those cups represent a different part of our beingness on the outside that we've tried to taste and drink of, that has left us feeling empty still, that has left us disappointed and not satisfied. And so we can mourn over those, and that's what I like about the card. Normally they have the person's like focusing on the 3 cups that are spilled, and the other 2 cups are behind him. And it reflects the importance that we came here to learn what it might feel like to have loss and to feel that emptiness. So that when we turn around and we see the 2 cups, the 2 of cups normally for me represents, again, like this card here, where there's 2 sides of you. One of the cups is your human side, that your shadow side that's here to experience all those things, and the other is your higher self, that spiritual being. And the 1 cup from the higher self, it's like the Temperance card, where they have 1 cup that's full of the living waters, and they're pouring it down into the cup of our human self, which is what fills us up, where the 3 of cups didn't fill us up before. So really, with this message we had about understanding these experiences that we went through on purpose for a purpose, they served you, and you felt the mourning, you felt the loss, you felt all those feelings, and now you're ready to move on and let those go. So that's part of the process there. And then we move into these 3. We'll look at these 3 together, and you already saw the star card there. And then you have the 3 of Wands. Wands is your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, your passion, your spiritual energy too. And then you also have the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles, Pentacles is the outside world. And the King, having experienced all of the Pentacle suit, one of the big pieces of wisdom that it provides us is that when it looked for those 3 cups, for those 3 things outside, it realized that those things were disappointing and unstable, because when you define yourself by a relationship, whether it's romantic, friends, family, whatever, people change, people pass away. So if you're defining yourself by that, then you feel unstable. If you're defining yourself by a situation or a circumstance, like a job or education or some sort of circumstance or situation in your life, we know that situations never stay the same. One of the things you can count on in this life is change. So those things also feel unstable. And then, of course, if we're defining ourselves by our bodies, by our possessions, by our bank accounts, things break down, deteriorate, or are stolen. So eventually those things also make us feel unstable and disappointed. And so the King realizes that all that disappointment turns him inward, to where he finds, usually, like you'll see a king seated with a big pentacle, a big coin sitting on his lap, which represents his heart. And he found his worth from within and finding his true worth by connecting. And that's what the star card is representing here too. And the 3 of Wands comes in here because once you have experienced these things, like this change that you've had over the last 6 months, the 3 of Wands is about kind of like changing course, changing direction, moving your energy in a different way. So like the Ace of Wands is like this new passion, this new aha, this new drive to do something different. The 2 of Wands is usually planning your, A to B to C to D, all the steps going forward. And the 3 is creativity. It is this looking at things in a different way and going, you know what? I may have made it from the middle of the continent to the seashore, and I was going to, board this boat to go in this direction, but now with all this new information, this new awareness you have, you're choosing to go a different direction, which is cool. It's your prerogative, and definitely with the new information, you're making different choices for yourself, which brings us into these 3. So you saw the King of Pentacles, then you have the Chariot, and then, like I said, you have the Fool card. So King of Pentacles, the full card allows you to, it's a new beginning, you know, it's the 0 card, which is the very beginning of the major arcana, which means you've had this change, you've had this ending of a cycle, and you're ready for this new beginning to start and to unfold. The King of Pentacles can also be, you know, usually there was like this big tree on it, which represents our family tree, our ancestral tree, which can represent also that, you know, with all these emotions happening in this protective shell, there could have been chains that have been passed down from generation to generation, either some sort of abuse, some sort of like alcoholism or addiction of some kind, or even restrictions of, can be religious beliefs, it can be political beliefs, it can be even career beliefs that you have to have a certain type of career in like the military or medicine or police, fireman, or even the family business, teacher, whatever it might be. And this is like you have gone through this where you have developed this confidence, right? This, yeah, like it talked about here, your confidence to change, to be the one that is breaking a chain. You are, in your generation, being the one to do it. And because of that, you're also influencing others to make changes in their chains of their ancestral line. So, you know, kind of like if you've ever been to a dance club or kind of even a wedding and something where everyone's like, all right, everyone get out to dance. And there's like, no one wants to get out and be the first one, but it just takes one person going out and then whoosh, the whole crowd goes, right? They don't want to be the first one, but when they do, it gives everyone else the confidence to also join you. And so I kind of feel like that is kind of here too. And with the 7, this Chariot, this is a wonderful empowerment because it lets you know that no matter what happens in your life, no matter what fated event or circumstance comes into your life, that you are the one that gets to choose what story you apply to any situation and what emotion you're going to choose in all that too. So it is this beautiful awareness that comes from this because you're getting your power here and you're realizing it, and you are making these choices for your life where you didn't before. And it is even also looking back at old memories and old situations that happened in your life and seeing it from this higher point of view, this different point of view, realizing that no matter what comes into your life, that you asked for it to be there for some reason. You may not realize it in this lifetime. You're like, I don't know why I would have asked for that, but just trust that everything came into your life on purpose, for a purpose, for you, not to happen to you. And so you do have this evolution of your emotions that's happening around this full moon. And, you know, lastly, with the tarot cards here, we're still going to pull a card from here, but taking a look at these 3 together, it definitely reinforces all that, because you have the 2 cards that represent like your soul and new beginnings, and your you know, hanged man seeing things from this higher perspective, from this heavenly, soulful perspective. I mean, you get double duty here. And then with the 8 of Cups, leaving behind those things that no longer serve you is right in alignment with all this. So that's why this protective shell is being lowered, especially because of this Chariot, because you're realizing, and you have realized over these last 6 months, that you have the power to choose what anything means. And so you don't need to protect yourself from the future or from what anyone else does, or try to control situations outside of you, because you realize from the inside that you are the one that gets to choose what anything means. Sure, everyone's going to have their opinions. Everyone has these, you know, the popular opinions of all the expectations of the supposed tos, the shoulds, the need tos, the have tos, the, you know, musts. But you're like, that's just their opinion. You get to choose what anything means. And so the fear of the future and the fear of the outside world subsides, because you're just like, whatever happens, I get to decide the story that I put to it. I get to decide what emotion I choose. And I know it kind of felt like they were beating a dead horse around that, but they really wanted to bring that home. And then lastly, we're going to pull a card here from the Elemental Oracle and just see what the final message that the Creator has for all of you Sagittarians. All right, so what's your final message for Sagittarians for this Leo full moon, please? All right, this is the one here. And you got clarity, yep, and the mountain. And that's card number 16. We'll just put this in the middle here. So yeah, definitely this clarity, like we talked about, has come to you over these last 6 months. It says there is an advantage to looking at things from a higher perspective. Exactly what we talked about. That's hilarious. You are too close to something to see it properly and clearly, and you were. So take the high road, look at the big picture. Are you making too big a deal of something? And the high places have always been places of sacredness and clarity. While mountains are often inaccessible, they are places of profound beauty where the gods themselves reside and heavenly realms begin. For the Greek gods, it was Mount Olympus. For the Vulcans, Mount Etna. Mount Ida in Turkey for Cybele. I think that's how you say it, Cybele. Mauna Kea for Pele, and I know I'm murdering these names. Blanca Peak as the home of the Dawn Men of the Navajo. Mount Kilimanjaro for the Shaga god Rua, while Mount Meru is a direct reflection of and the center of all creation. Sacred mountains exist as energies that provide all that people need. For example, both Mount Taranaki in New Zealand or Mount Kailash in Tibet are considered to be the source of 4 rivers that bless every person, plant, and animal. Mount Kailash is sacred to the Jain, Buddhist, Hindu, and Bon, and is never climbed because it is a site of devout pilgrimage. Temples and other religious places, including hermitage, have often built among mountain ranges. The contemplative quality and purity of the environments has been contributors to this. So escaping from the mainstream of people to seek silence and going high where few go are aspects of gaining the higher perspective. Like we said, leaving behind those popular opinions of the outside world, all that noise and the chaos of the outside world. It says, mountains remind us that we can look at the minutiae of the world more purely and from a higher vantage point. In mountains, our troubles seem tiny and insignificant. Taking time away from too many opinions or pressures and trying to gain some simplicity and clarity can be done on a regular basis. And the element of this is earth. So that is so perfect. It's the way to end this. It is this higher perspective, and 6 + 1 is 7, which is the Chariot card, which is the 7. So there is this beautiful empowerment that's coming with seeing things from this higher perspective that you have been introduced to over these last 6 months. And this Leo full moon kind of feels like this culmination, this reflective time where you really look back and go, and seeing everything that you've learned sitting atop away from all that noise. So I am loving this for you, all you Sagittarians. I'm going to leave the reading there, but I do want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do monthly readings for each of the zodiac signs, weekly energy updates for each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, etc., new moon, full moon readings, and a few others. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified immediately when they become available, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, and then also click the subscribe button, that's going to make this little notification bell pop up, and then that will take you to the setting where you can choose all to be notified of any videos that come out on this channel. And doing all that actually helps spread the love, because when you like a video or share a video or subscribe to a channel, it makes the YouTube algorithm giddy, so happy that it wants to share those videos with other people. So if you feel like doing any of that, feel so inclined, of course, I am very grateful for that. Never any pressure to do so. And Sagittarians, just know that each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing full moon, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care.